phones with you, please turn them on silent or airplane mode so they don't disrupt the meeting. And second, I'd like to ask all of you to join us for Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So welcome everyone here this evening, and also for those of you watching us on YouTube later on. I'm going to start with some introductions. I'm Lisa Whalen and I'm the mayor. And to my left we have council members Kathleen Refkin, Peter Vickery, Claudia Lacey, and Brian Govern. And staff present this evening we have Allison Fauski, who is our city engineer with WSB. Gary Peters is our Public Works Director of Public Works Director, whichever you want. And then next to Gary, we have Paula Baumann, who is our Assistant Administrator. Next to me, on my right, we have Jasper Krugel. He is our City Administrator. Then we have Brian Grimm. He is our Finance Director. David Abel is our Community Development Director. And then on the end, we have our Chief of Police, Craig Squires. We also have a couple of staff members participating electronically or via Zoom, what is it called, I guess? Teams, okay. And that's Ann Meyerhoff, who is our city clerk. She's taking notes. And is Sarah with us too?
Ron Beatty is going to be.
Oh, Ron. Hi, Ron.
He's not quite in yet.
Okay, well, and Ron Beatty will be showing up. He is our city attorney and sitting in for Sarah Sonsalo, who is normally here, but Ron used to be our attorney, so we're happy to have him back. With that, I'll move. We've done that. Approval of agenda. Is there anything else we need to add or subtract from the agenda? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Refkin. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Vickery. Any further questions? All those in favor signify with aye. Aye. All those opposed, motion passes 5-0. Tonight we have two special presentations, so we're going to start out with the Gillespie Center update, and that is Brian Embry.
You got it.
Thank you. You come to the podium, please. So welcome, Brian, and we're glad you're here to give us an update on the Gillespie Center, which of course we are a supporter of.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me today. Yes, my name is Brian Embry. This is a pseudo presentation that I'm going to try to cram as much as I can into without making everyone look at the slides that I presented for very long, and oh, better yet, I do get to control it. So I will move through these as I do, so I wanted to share a very brief introduction. My name is Brian Embry. I am the director of the Gillespie Center. I have been there for about 4 months, so there is a whole new world coming at me. But having said that, for the last 15 years, I have had I've had a career in the nonprofit field as a director working for YMCAs all over the country, for the Volunteers of America, recently here in Minnesota for the Volunteers of America, Minnesota and Wisconsin. And so I got to tell you, as I was doing my research to come and prepare to present to the city of Minnetrista, I did see that Mayor Lisa Whalen recently won the C.C. Ludwig Award, and I wanted to give you a huge shout out.
Thank you.
What really stood out to me about that award is that it emphasizes a commitment to public good, and that is 100% also the reason why I am here today. I am here to say thank you. Recently, or I shouldn't say recently, in the recent year, 2026, the one we are in right now, we received a donation from the city of Minnetrista that for a community center such as ours that does not have a large entity tied to it, that does not have a specific city that provides our funding year over year, this helps us. It helps us in a lot of different ways, and that is what I'm here to share with you. First and foremost, $10,000 donation that we received from the city of Minnetrista helped us with some essential facility updates in 2026. I like to think of this as us protecting our investment. Our summer, ever since I have hit here, has been ripe with addressing maintenance needs, all of which are turning 25, 26 years old, which if you are a homeowner, you are very aware that's typically when you might want to be looking at your roof, looking at your air conditioning, looking at your boilers. And that's exactly what we've had done at the Gillespie Center. We did have a new AC unit installed in June. We have an all-new thermostat and vent control system that is all electronic, helping us join the 21st century and keeping in line with our Commitment to safety for our members. We did have new sprinkler heads in our kitchen area and our walk-in cooler installed. New boilers, and coming soon, we will be having a new roof installed on the Gillespie Center. All really good news for us. And the City of Minnetrista's donation allowed us to be able to finish with a break-even margin as we navigate our fiscal year, right? And these were very essential things that are not going to be taking place every single year. That donation also helped us with...
Uh-oh.
Continuation of our services and programming. If you have been on this city council or if you've attended this meeting sometime in the last year, you're going to see a lot of similar programs that we offered last year, as well as just very basic ones that we are consistently doing our best to enhance and or introduce new programming. So as you can see up here, we have all the things that the Gillespie Center has done in the past. I threw an additional note in there because we did just wrap up our 2026 cruises in partnership with Alan Alma's, and we did serve over 1,000 individuals on those boat cruises. I literally just finalized with Alan Alma's before I walked out for this meeting that we are going to be doing another fall foliage cruise for our seniors that I could not be more excited about. That's insider information. I just learned that.
Mum's the word. Not a good place to say, make that.
I'll have the flyer ready to go tomorrow, so if you get the word out right now, that's just extra advertising for us. And lastly, the City of Minnetrista helped us define community support. Together with financial support from our neighbors, the Gillespie Center's General Operating Fund finished 2025 with a break-even margin. This was only possible due to the generosity and commitment to the Westonka senior citizens, and as you can see, our large partners, our two Lions groups, and then the 4 major cities. And then as you can also see, fundraisers, friend-raisers that we do all throughout the year. I led with the Langdon because Claudia did partner with us and helped us raise approximately $1,600 this summer. And what we like to say at the Gillespie Center is that we didn't have to we didn't have to lift a finger to make that happen. So a huge shout out to Claudia.
Oh, thank you.
But as you can see, not just the Langdon, all of our community partners that help with our fundraisers and friend-raisers that we do over at the Gillespie Center. So I share all of that with you at least, or to plant the seed to help you understand kind of where we're at right now. I have only been there for about 4 months. I have not had an opportunity to develop my own strategic plan, but I do have inklings that will go into my strategic plan, and that is a part of what I wanted to share with each of you tonight. Moving forward, I'm starting here. I'm starting with the existing partnerships and relationships that the Gillespie Center has pursued historically to request funding to help make our operations run. But in my career to date, I do have extensive grant writing, grant management experience. I'm very familiar with a large number of 501c3 grants that I've identified in my short period of time the Gillespie Center is not pursuing. And it is my perception 4 months into this job that because of all of our fundraising, our programs, contributions from our partners like Lions and cities, they help us with that break even. And I really, truly believe that pursuance of grants is ultimately going to help keep the Gillespie Center solvent, and that is ultimately our goal. And then part 2 is implementing new and improved programs. I don't throw that term around lightly. What I will say is that I have worked in community centers all over this country, and I identify that there is opportunity at the Gillespie Center. It's actually one of the main reasons why I took the job and why I'm really, really excited to work there. It is a very unique opportunity. Our board members give me quite a bit of autonomy to identify which programs we think are going to best meet the needs of our members. And I'm diving into those things early yet, but I'm really, really excited about the future. Our ask is to support us, and there's multiple ways to go about supporting us. What I will say is yes, our ask does come with a request for consideration for a financial donation from the City of Minnetrista, very similar to what we received in the most recent year. But having said that, it's not a requirement, right? The Gillespie Center is going to be there. We're going to continue to do everything that we can to offer great programs to our members, to the community members of the Westonka area. And the donation that we receive from all the cities really helps put us over the edge. I throw this out there just in continuation of what I know has been gone over in the past. In place of any, monetary contribution we could receive from the city, you can see other ways that we receive support, and it really does go a long way. Our city communications, following us on and sharing our events on social media, inviting others to like and share our posts. I make those Facebook posts. I get 1 or 2 likes every time. You guys can certainly help me out. Always considering a donation. Consider becoming one of our supporters. And then, as always, if you are interested in volunteering at the Gillespie Center, you get to go through me. So certainly reach out to me at any given time. I would love to put you to work. For the sake of time, I'm not going to dive into this, but I did want to include within our slide revisiting the vision, mission, and values. We vision a thriving community at the Gillespie Center, and that is only possible with the support of everyone within our surrounding communities. Our mission is that we are dedicated to providing a prosperous and supportive environment, culture, and space to enrich the lives of our community members of all ages. One thing I did not touch on too much, but would be an emphasis on our tech support program. In my 4 months that I've worked at the Gillespie Center, our tech support program by far and large is our #1 most utilized resource. Our seniors coming in and asking for help support with their iPads, phones, laptops.
I'm gonna be in there tomorrow asking for help with
Full disclosure, I do that myself, and I do not have any advanced IT experience, training, knowledge whatsoever, but I do have a drive to help people solve problems. And I do know how to go about reaching out and identifying individuals who can help with those things. And I think strong relationship building will help me find the partners, the volunteers, individuals who can help me expand these programs. And I am very much so looking forward to doing that in the West Tonka area. All right.
You could take a breath.
I could have really drawn that out. Everybody's trying to get through it as quickly as possible. I want to say thank you guys for having me. I appreciate any form of consideration that can be given to the Gillespie Center receiving a future donation. I will answer any and all questions as transparently and forthright as I possibly can. If you guys have any, I would like to answer them now.
I think it's in our budget, so I think you'll receive the donation again next year. So glad you're here and welcome. So yes, thank you.
My mother taught me when you get what you came to ask for, leave. So
yes, there you go. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you. All right. So next we have a special presentation from the LMCD, or Lake Minnetonka Conservation District, David Kruger, and our representative, Jane Anderson Thomas. Do you go by Jane Anderson Thomas or? Okay. Well, welcome. Thank you for coming.
It's a pleasure to be here to present to you all for the first time as your new representative to LMCD. And I'd like to introduce, he's newish, it's been a year, David Kruger, our new executive director.
Thank you for the introduction, Mayor, Council. I was here once last year when I first got here, so I've now been here officially just over a year, and it's been very interesting. So LMCD, as you know, regulates basically everything on the surface of Lake Minnetonka, and we have evolving things that we do and some things that we've done in the past that are coming back, which I'll talk about here in just a moment. So here's the agenda today. So we'll talk about our 2027 budget, the history of that, the city dues, and highlights of expenses, revenue, and current LMCD initiatives. So our budget history, really to understand where we were, where we came from, and where we're going. In 2020, the EIS program ended. That was a harvesting program as well. And so in the next chart, you'll see how dues and our budget was affected by that. So that ended in 2020. In 21, the dues were still at the same level, as you'll see in the next graph. And then in 22 to 25, essentially based on our reserves and our auditor, we were to spend our reserves down to 35%. So that's what our auditor has suggested. Our board began to do that. So your dues were less for several years. And in 2026, they came back up at 375, which it was in 2021. And so in 2027, unfortunately, we do have to restore some of the financial stability as in 2026, we overshot the 35% with expenses that were unexpected, essentially. So that number now is about 21% of roughly at the end of this year. So we're going to try to get back up to 35. So here's municipal dues from 2021 through 27. So as you'll see in 2021, it was 375, went down 300, 255 for the 3 years. Spending down our reserves, back up to in 2026, back up 375, which the board indicated in 2001 they wanted to do once they hit that 35%. And this year's dues are 440 total. Now, I will say that even though our dues went up, our budget has decreased over the last, this year over the last 3 years. So dues and revenue, what they'll do is fund our operations and rebuild reserves, as I've talked about, to get back up 35%, which our auditor says is the right number to be at. Continue having full-time executive directors. So in 2022 to 2025, we had a part-time director, Jim Burmeyer, if you know Jim.
Yes.
And so he was doing that as the board took time to decide what type of executive director they wanted and what that new strategic vision would be like. And to restore our budget, or excuse me, our reserves back up to 35%. So our expense highlights, so overall expenses are lower. Again, staff is doing more with less. So just for an example, our past budget was $610,000. This year it'll be $603,000, and that's with about $45,000 in new spending. So we're actually reducing our budget from the past. So we want to retain our staff that we have to do more work. We got rid of some consultants and things. We're doing it in-house instead. Looking at, we put cloud storage up here, but essentially our server is down. We had to go to a cloud-based system. All our network, all our IT is really old. We're revamping that to modern times. And also, you'll see on some other slides, going to AI technologies. So we're using AI financial software, AI on-field inspection software, and so forth. So that'll be with field tablets out in the field. So dues per city, this talks about the dues per city. As you can see, Minnetrista, there basically your market value has gone up quite a bit in the last year or two. So your dues last year were $37,000. They will be $45,786 now. And so it's about $14,330 more at 33%. So the percent though is really more based on the new market value. So that's how it is designed. The statute basically says that the city of Minnetonka, the largest city, is can only pay 20% max, or any city can only pay 20% max once they reach a certain, that 20% of the total levy. So to give you an example, this $440,000 dues is really the maximum dues we could charge are $1,180,000. So 440 of $1,000,001 is essentially what we're asking in dues. So our revenue this year, so permit fees, recover costs. So what this is essentially is we have raised our new permit fees on multi-dock licenses, and that's for residential and marinas. Not single family residential docks, but primarily multi-licensed docks to cover the cost of administration. So in the past, we didn't keep up. We didn't add new fees for 38 years, essentially. And so, revenue, dues, as well as reserves, we're helping pay for those permits. Now with our new fee structure, 100% of the cost to administrate a permit is now covered under fees, which ultimately will reduce your cost as due members in the future. So we returned to dock inspections. So in 2014, OMCD quit doing annual inspections of docks. We now have reinstalled that for many reasons, but mainly it's for improved safety. So making sure that shock, when you can get shocked in the water, damaged steps, trip and falls. Lots of different public safety issues are out there without annual inspections. So we were inspecting on a case-by-case basis, but more reactive than proactive. So we're now.
But you're talking about commercial, not private, not private residential docks.
So
Yeah.
private only when they're MDLs. So when they're multi-dock licensed, we
right.
do HOAs.
Right.
And marinas. So, but not if you're residential and you just get a permanent
Right.
dock, not you, unless
Yeah.
you have multi
Right.
facilities on that particular license. So, but we will inspect those as well, but just to make sure things are safe. So, but we're going back to that. And so this is a big return for us. And I think public safety overall and improved safety is something that we're really concerned about and that we really want to facilitate. And it's part of our statute authority. So again, we got so a fair fee structure. So how it was structured before is there was a base fee plus a fee based on how many WSUs or how many units you have. What we did is we looked at Shorewoods, which they restructured, how they do theirs, and we used their model essentially upping the base fee, taking a range of how many units you have and having 0 to 10, 10 to 30, 30 to 60, whatnot, to have a more fair range of spreading out those costs for the amount of time and energy we spend on permitting. So again, we use Shorewood's model on that. And so when you do that, you have to prove, as you know, city council and staff, that when you do these kind of things, you have to prove essentially that your costs do not go over a profit, right? So you have to actually just cover your expenses only. So that's what we did. It took us a while to get to that, but that's what we did. So our 2027 budget focus really, again, is to rebuild those reserves up to 35%, improve efficiency, which we are doing, and then hopefully reducing our overall budget actually over time with those efficiencies, maintaining staff, and another one down there is statutory compliance. So there's lots of things in our statute that we can be doing, should be doing, and we're getting back to the core responsibilities of that. And we'll talk about that in a minute with some AIS, but public safety, again, is probably our number one thing. We want to make sure the license and permits that we are giving are compliant and being viewed in a safe condition. This time around, we started inspections already, even though it's not 2027. I've been out there probably 15, 16 of these. We are seeing frayed wires. We are seeing safety issues. We're seeing things that have fallen through the cracks. So it's something we want to work on to make sure that everyone is treated equal, everyone is being processed the same way, and that safety for the public is there. So again, our current initiatives is annual dock inspections going back after 2014 and doing those annually. Residential compliance. What this means is being more on top of complaints and being more proactive. For many years now, LMCD has been more reactive than proactive. Under what my leadership and the board's view, we want to be more proactive. AIS detection, for now, we want to crawl, walk, run on AIS. We're not ready to full out run yet, but we're looking at ways that we can, like Starry Stonewart, looking at that. So we've already started with interns, going to launches, doing rake tests, education in our online publications, and identifying with agencies action plans, what might happen if we do begin to see new species. So public outreach, again, it's not just AIS, but public outreach on boater safety, best practices with boats, and in general, public outreach and AIS, how to identify who to call, what to do, and things that we're doing as well in our agency. Enforcement, again, being more proactive than reactive, and working, which we always have with Water Patrol, but particularly on rental boats, it's been a big issue and it continues to be. We're looking for new ways to enforce that, to make sure, again, that's a public safety issue. If people don't have inspected boats, if they don't carry insurance, it's a public safety issue. So we're making sure that we're working on that. Code updates, essentially, We've changed about 3 of our ordinances since I've been here already, and we're going to change 1 or 2 more. And part of that is to become more up-to-date technology advancements, things like that, and to make it more easily understandable by a common person rather than an attorney to read it. So for people to really understand the rules and why it would apply, and to take some, what has happened over time is historically, 1977, something happened, 81 it happened, 92 it happened, and it just added to the ordinance. We want to really look at that and then redefine those so it's easier to understand and it's more applicable. Questions, that's a lot of information. If I can answer some questions, specifics, I'd be willing to do that as well.
I have a question. I think the weeds have been the worst I've ever seen them on the lake. And you got rid of all the harvesters and you don't do that anymore.
Right.
I think it made a huge difference. So can you kind of explain to me what the plan is?
Yeah, so my understanding of the history of why we got rid of the harvesters at the time was, well, A, it was expensive, and B, there was some thoughts that what we were doing was actually increasing the amount of weeds. As you cut them and did things, they were duplicating rather than taking away. So that was one of the reasons, my understanding is why.
Well, it was particularly Eurasian water milfoil. So that's what they felt was spreading by cutting them, yeah.
Yeah, so, and then lids popped up and other people, watershed got out of AIS. So I think what we're looking at now is, since we're on the funds right now, unless we issue a new way of doing that in the future, a new dues program or joint powers agreement, we want to really crawl, walk, run. And so what that means is starting with education, working with agencies, working with lids, understand the issue, and then from there looked at what we should do next. And our board really hasn't discussed what those next steps are, but I think one of the things we need to do is really understand what's happening on the lake from a full environmental side. So each lid is doing something different, the DNR is permitting, but I don't know if anyone's really saying, what is all the data? What does every bay do? How is it organized? What's really happening? That could be something we might do at our next step. I don't know, our board hasn't conducted that, but that could be something is taking all the data and then saying, here's what ecologically the lake looks like now. And know from there, what is the game plan to go from there? So, but our board hasn't really weighed in on that other than their strategic plan. We put it back in our strategic plan to begin a process of looking at AIS and somehow become more involved. So, but we've had several cities talk to us and say they would be willing to pay more dues to start doing something more. They don't quite always identify what more is yet, and we don't know what more on our end would be, but I think it's a discussion that will take place.
Thank you.
How much attention are you focusing on the people that live on the lake, sharing their, responsibility in taking care of the lake?
Yeah, essentially up, for the last few years, our agency has not got involved in AIS. Essentially, we're out of the business. We're now stepping back into that business. So up till now, we haven't talked much with our residents on the lake about it. So that's really the lids, the DNR, and the watershed used to, they don't now. So I think that's what our board is trying to figure out is what is our responsibility? What should we be doing? What do we not want to duplicate? And how do we help coordinate that? But we do a social media that talks about different types of invasive species, where to report it, what it looks like, things of that nature right now. But we have not gone further into those things since our board simply said it's strategic plan. We want to look at it. They have not identified what specifically they want to do yet.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you, and thank you, Jane, for all of your time on this. As our representative, appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kruger.
You want this back? You want to hear it?
Oh, you can leave it up there. That's good. Sorry.
Have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you. So next, we will move on. I guess we don't have anybody else signed up. As Jane signed up, but she already spoke. So next we'll move on to, that's our next item, and that is agenda item, and that is only 2 consent agenda items. Wow. Do you want to remove any one of them? All right, if not, then it's consent agenda item approving our claims, and B is a street improvement project, approve the change order.
I would like to.
The change order?
Yeah.
Okay, so then is there a motion to approve our claims?
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Refkin. Is there a second? Second. Thank you, Ms. Lacy. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion passes. And Mr. Vickery, you had some questions.
I'm just curious about if we don't pave this road now, we'll never, or it'll be a long time before we get to it. And so I'm just wondering if there's some way to.
It will be paved this season.
That's correct. Madam Mayor, Councilmember Vickery, so the contractor for the city, Mueller, is just stopping short of that second layer of asphalt right now until the school district finishes with their project.
No, I'm sorry, I meant the Enchanted Island.
That's a, this is the tar coat. Different agenda item.
That one's on business. This is the top coat.
We'll talk about that one.
All right.
Okay, so in that case, would you like to make a motion to approve the street improvement project, approve the change order then? Okay, thank you, Mr. Vickery. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. All those in favor signify with aye. Aye. All those opposed, motion passes. So next we have the comprehensive plan amendment, and it says a sketch plan review, but it's not going to be a sketch plan review tonight.
Well, Madam Mayor and Council, you can certainly provide comments as you wish. There's one that can come in the future as well, but as pointed out in the staff report, it's in there for demonstration purposes as is required by the Metropolitan Council.
Okay, so we can make comments, but they're still going to come back for a sketch plan or at some point.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. All right, anything else? Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mayor, members of council. As the mayor stated, this is a request for an amendment to our 2040 comprehensive plan. They're looking for an expansion of our metropolitan urban service area, or what we call the MUSA line. And this is for the property at 3500 County Road 92. The property is approximately 68 acres in size. It's currently guided in our comp plan as urban reserved, and it's currently zoned our stage development district, which, as the council will recall, those stage development districts are areas that we look for development in the future. It's been that way for at least this last comp plan go around, and I believe actually the one before that. So we're looking at least 20 years that it's been zoned that stage development district. Likely what will happen with a land use change, if a development proposal does move forward, it would move to our residential low medium, which fits with the policies of our comprehensive plan. If a development proposal does move forward, of course, as I mentioned, there is a concept plan that's in your packet that was submitted with the application. It does meet that minimum density requirement, which is required by the Metropolitan Council of 3.5 units per acre. So whether it's this plan or some version of this plan moving forward, as mentioned, it does have to meet that minimum 3.5 units per acre, and that is a requirement of the Metropolitan Council as we move forward to our 2050 plan. As the mayor mentioned here just a bit ago, this is not an approval of the subdivision this evening. There is a concept plan in there for demonstration purposes, but what you're looking at tonight is the comprehensive plan amendment. It's a concept plan that was just submitted again for demonstration purposes. They have put some thought into it though, and feel like the layout generally is going to work for the site. If you guys do approve the comp plan amendment tonight, we would submit that as staff to the Metropolitan Council for their review and approval. If that is successful, the development would still need to go through several steps, as the mayor mentioned. A formal concept plan would be the next step. Usually, there's a neighborhood meeting held by the developer prior to a preliminary plat submittal. When a preliminary plat is submitted, there'd be a public hearing held with our planning commission. It would be reviewed by our parks commission. It would go through the city council. And if it goes through the preliminary plat stage, the next step would be a final plat, and only after final plat would construction begin on the site. The planning commission did hold a public hearing at their July 27th meeting. They took testimony and public comment and ultimately did vote 5-0 to recommend approval of this request. As I said, this is just the first steps in a potential future development process. It is not approving the development plan that's in there. It is a comp plan amendment, and there are many steps left in the process. But as pointed out in the findings in the staff report, it's guided urban reserve, it's zone stage development. This parcel is what we look for when we get comprehensive plan amendments for bringing it into the MUSA area. Basically, it's set up in that way as part of our comprehensive plan. So with that, I see the applicant is here this evening. If you have any questions for them, otherwise staff is available for questions as well.
Thank you, Mr. Abel. So first of all, council, any questions of staff?
Did have a couple. How does the memory care affect the number of units per acre? Is that count essentially as an apartment building or?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So if there's 40 units, it's counting as 40.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then is that on the north water system or the south water system?
South Central. Yeah. Yep. Good questions.
That was it?
Okay. Any other questions?
Is there's not water run over there already, is there?
No.
No. All right. The applicant is here. Would you like to make any comments? Or you don't have to, but if you'd like to.
I'll just come out and introduce myself. Good evening, Mayor, members of the Commission, council, and staff. My name's Beth Husted, and I'm here to really just to answer questions, to listen to your feedback, so that when we do present and if we are able to get a comp plan amendment, I have some good feedback. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Council, so I guess the first question might be, and then we'll go to comments on the plan. First question is, are you in favor of bringing this into the MUSA or making the comp plan amendment at this time?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So then, do you have comments on the plan? Okay. We'll start with Kathleen.
I have serious concerns about a senior living memory care facility. I don't think our police or fire has capability to respond to the amount of calls that will be brought in by that. If you want to put high density apartments or just senior housing, but the memory care or something that involves multiple calls to EMTs and ambulances and police, we just don't have enough city services staffing, fire to cover that. That's my big comment on it.
Peter, anything?
I thought it looked good. So.
Okay. Claudia?
That's been our big discussion, what Kathleen said. I mean, we constantly hear how our first responders are overtaxed by falls and who's responsible. And it sounds to me like this would require a lot of conversation.
Okay. Any other comments? Brian?
I feel like that seems like one of the logical places to next develop in the city. Memory care notwithstanding, so it seems like a good spot to fill in.
Okay. I'm going to make several comments. Some of them were made at the Planning Commission. One, I don't like the entry exit onto Highland. It needs to be on 110 and 92. Two, I would like to see fewer cul-de-sacs because that costs the city a lot of money to clear cul-de-sacs. And there's 3 in this development and it's only 60 some acres. So I'd like to see if we can have more through streets or else fewer cul-de-sacs. And the other thing is, I'm not a real fan of these teeny tiny 50-foot wide lots. So I think in lieu of these teeny tiny lots, I'd rather see more townhomes, and I'd even like to encourage you, I don't know what you have planned here, but some villa homes, because we have aging population in Minnetrista, and we don't have enough well, we have a lot of single-family homes, but we don't have things that people can age into. As far as the memory care, probably that's not a great fit right now for our community, but maybe a senior 55-plus apartment complex or something like that in order to get those units up so we can have larger lots. The 50-foot and 55-foot lots, they just create a lot of problems. But I know that villas are smaller lots, and I have heard from residents in the area that they're very well received and needed. So that might be something you can look at. Also, I'd like to make sure that whatever you do, we need some buffering along the southern area and maybe even along the northern route or along Highway 110. Couple of reasons why. One, we still want to try and maintain that rural Minnetrista feel, and now all of a sudden we're going to have all these houses here, so maybe some buffering, trees as well as whatever you can figure out along those two, and then of course on the southern area to buffer the existing neighborhood to the south. And so in preserving as many of the trees as possible would be really a good idea because it costs you less and it keeps Minnetrista beautiful. And the other thing I see here is I don't see any parks. So I don't know if there should be some open space, and I don't see any open space. So if you want to do a PUD, there's very little open space, and we really are going to have to see a little more open space. It doesn't have to be a park with amenities, but just some open space for people to go and congregate in or to play in, whatever that might be. So those are just some thoughts off the top of my head. So, all right. Any other thoughts? And we're looking forward to getting approval from the Met Council. We'll see how that goes, and then we'll continue working. We'll see how that goes, but yeah, I see David kind of smiling over there, but it should go. I mean, I don't foresee a problem with that. And the other thing I just want to point out is this is just basically preempting our 2050 plan because we already, we're kind of running out of space, running out of lots right now. And so we're going to be adding some in our next go-around, which is coming up. We already have a committee in place for that to start working on our next update to our comprehensive plan. So I agree with staff. This is kind of the next the next thing that we would bring in anyway. So we're just upping the timeline by about a year and a half. So, all right. Anything else? All right. Those are all our comments right now. So we'll see when you come back with your new plan. So with that, Council, then, is there a motion? I'm sorry, I need to go to the motion here. So is there a resolution or a motion approving the comprehensive plan amendment to change the land use designation from urban reserve to residential low medium for 3500 County Road 92 and authorize staff to submit a comprehensive plan amendment for the same to the Metropolitan Council?
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Refkin. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Vickery. Any further comments? Questions? Hearing none. All those in favor signify with aye. Aye. All those opposed, motion passes. Thank you. All right. And we'll see you again. With that, we will move on to Peter's favorite item.
It's yours. Now you can go. Ask Allison your question.
So this is the East Shore Drive project scope. So, yeah.
Mayor Whalen, if I may. So before council this evening for consideration we're looking for a direction with regards to East Shore Drive. So in June this year, council authorized WSB to prepare a feasibility report for resurfacing in the island area, excluding Tuxedo and Enchanted because that was previously done. And in preparation of the feasibility report and as time has passed, it was brought to staff's attention that there's a home on the end of East Shore Drive that's going to be rebuilt. East Shore Drive is currently a gravel road. And so it's certainly undesirable to have home construction traffic going over a newly paved surface. Excuse me. Public Works Director Peters and I were talking about this and wanted to bring this forward to council to see if council would like to remove East Shore Drive from the project at this time until a point where the home reconstruction is completed, and then we can explore other opportunities to get that road paved, certainly going through a public process for assessments. So with that, I would open up to any questions that council has.
Ms. Falsky, I think there's only 2 parcels or 2 homes. Is one in Mound and one in Minnetrista?
So there's, that's a good question.
One in Minnetrista, the rest are in Mound back there, but
Right.
the one that's being built will be in Minnetrista. This request also comes from the homeowners at 3470 Tuxedo Road who have moved in there and brought this to our attention, which I'm glad they did. So, but their request too to leave it as a gravel road,
Well,
just to keep that rural kind of, that kind of cabiny effect in that area there, so.
Well, that might be in our best interest too, because when you look at, I don't think that we have the authorization to assess the properties in Mound. And they would be using this road, and so there would only be one house that we could assess for this whole road, and that's not going to be cheap. I mean, that's going to be expensive.
Madam Mayor, if I may, you're correct. I did consult with the city attorney with regards to assessments in other communities, and the city of Minnetrista would not have authority to assess for street improvements to Mound residents.
Right. So it's kind of a private drive almost, you know? So.
Do we plow it at all? Any part of it?
We plow it, we maintain it. I mean, it is truly a city street, but we have several of these all over that are quote unquote glorified driveways, more or less. I mean, but they are city streets, yes.
Right. So would it make sense to take a look at this road to see and leave it gravel, but if improvements need to be made, such as soil corrections or things like that, do that now with the rest of the project, but not pave it? Or we wouldn't save any money? I'm just asking.
The road itself is held up very well. I guess for our standpoint, it would probably be smart to do a 360 drive-by with through the program that WSB has available to us before the housing, what do you call it? Can't talk. Demolition and the rebuild starts to, this is the road condition that's there, make sure that the builder is aware of what, we are looking at. And then, once the process is going, which will probably with these big houses they're putting in, could be a 2-year process, but then make them aware that they will be, liable for any repairs to that street as needed.
Okay. All right, because
we need to put down pavement and have them ruin it right away.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I don't think we should pave it. I mean,
I agree.
Leave it alone indefinitely, because that's what, a couple thousand feet?
Yeah.
It's only 1 lane wide. I mean, and the only reason we bring it up was since we're doing the rest of the island, I mean, now would be the time to do it.
Yeah.
Because we're there. I mean, if we're not, and we don't have an issue with leaving it from our standpoint, from Public Works maintenance standpoint, we don't have an issue with leaving it this way. So now would have been the time. If we're not going to do it now, then it'll be far into the future.
Gary, maybe what you want to look at is just doing the mouth of the road, paving that like maybe 50 feet or whatever.
It is paved in a little bit already. So there is a paid return on it.
Okay. Yeah. So council, take it off of the list.
Yeah, I guess I'm okay with that.
Yeah, okay, all right. Do you need a motion?
Mayor Whalen, I believe we can just, if you, just want to have a motion to remove that, and then we just have it for the record.
Okay, so is there a motion to remove East Shore Drive from the 2027 project? And I'll say feasibility report and project.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Vickery. Is there a second?
Second?
Thank you, Ms. Refkin. Further questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify with aye. Aye. All those opposed, motion passes 5-0. All right, next we have staff reports.
Yes, Madam Mayor, members of City Council, I'll give a brief update on future agenda items. We will have at the next City Council meeting during the work session, the 2027 road project open house for the Enchanted Island. I believe that's going to be set up as just like an open house, so there won't be a technical formal presentation unless there's direction otherwise.
I know.
When does the meeting start?
I want to, okay, we need to clarify this. This is an open house. It is not a city council meeting, correct? Because last time it was an open house and I didn't come until later on. And then I was told, no, it was a meeting. So it's an open house.
Yeah, so what we would prefer, I think, from a staff and from like the citizen feedback is just to have it be an open house. It doesn't have to be a meeting. There won't be a presentation at the meeting. If City Council would like to show up and participate in the open house, they can, but it'll be kind of held out in there a little bit, maybe a little bit in here, but not a formal meeting.
Good.
Is that good?
That's clear.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
So will there be an actual work session then, or just the open house?
There will not. This will be in lieu of the actual work session, so we won't have a work session on 9/9.
Sounds good.
I'll send a reminder.
Okay. And remember, it's on the Wednesday because Monday is Labor Day, so then we moved it to Wednesday. So, okay.
And then we will also have the preliminary levy adoption on 9/9 as well, and the regular meeting.
Okay. Is that going to change at all with this Mound Fire budget?
I don't think it has to. I think we're probably all right from a planning perspective.
Do you want to add anything else just in case?
Are we doing the ATV thing on 9/9?
Yeah, that's the next thing.
That'll be on the regular meeting.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, good.
That was the next thing I was going to talk about after the prelim levy. So, I mean, if we want to add something to it, I don't know if we necessarily need to, but
The last
Well, we'll talk about it at the meeting, though.
about 5,000-6,000. So I
Okay.
mean, of what's already in the budget, but
Okay.
hopefully they even come down a little
Yeah.
more from
Right.
based on discussion.
Okay, so we'll have that. Okay, and we'll talk about that at the meeting anyway, so, okay.
and then we'll have the recreational vehicle ordinance adoption potentially.
That'll be on the regular meeting.
On 9/9 on the regular meeting. And then I got an email today from the Harrison Bay Association asking about the rain barrel project again. They took a pause in 2026. If you remember, we did it in 2024 and 2025. And I say we did it, we participated, the city from the Stormwater Fund gave $30 per rain barrel. I think WSB, I have not hit them up yet, gave $10 per rain barrel. So I was just going to see once if the group is interested in
And we're
participating.
doing up to 100?
I think that's what we did, and we likely won't hit 100, but I don't think we ever have. So if there's some interest in that,
We sold out.
I think we did.
We sold out.
First
Yeah.
year we might have or
the
something.
the first year, the second year was down a little bit. Kind of a saturated market situation, I think, and maybe taking a year off, we might get more.
Okay.
So, I mean, if we want to do that same model up to 100, maybe we can do that.
Yeah.
Do they need to be
I want the tree
replaced,
sales
or
to
do
come
they?
back.
You want what?
That's what I
Rain
want, the tree
barrels need to be
sales.
replaced, or do they last like a significant period of time?
Oh, they last quite long.
Yeah, that's.
Quite a while,
It's
yeah.
like a PVC 55-gallon drum, basically, so it'll last quite a while.
They're not easy to set up. You have to saw, you have to do work,
You do.
something. You have to like saw your spout and you have to,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I'll let them know, and then we'll get more details from them.
Yeah,
And if I
okay.
remember right, they'll likely come and do a little presentation, so.
Okay.
How do we get the tree thing back, the tree sales? I miss that.
Gary, are we doing tree sale this
It wouldn't be this fall.
year?
It would be in the spring.
In the spring?
We can see if there's going to be a tree sale through Hennepin County. We can try to participate again through that.
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah,
Yeah, they just ask us to participate.
all
We don't
the
really do anything
Dead
else.
trees going
I
down.
think we have to participate financially a little bit. I think one year we did $2,000, not 2,000 trees, but $2,000.
Sold out like that.
Yeah, it did.
We'll see if Hennepin County is running that program for next year. I don't think we've heard anything, or at least I haven't.
And if they don't, let's see if we can, because we have the tree fund and we have a lot of dying trees, so maybe we want to,
Well, that's a good bridge to, Gary's going to be talking about our emerald ash borer tree replacement policy, I think on the 19th,
okay,
which there's something there with tree replacement as well. so-
okay.
21st, right?
Or 21st, sorry.
And the 21st,
September 21st, yeah.
I
okay.
won't be here on a Saturday, so.
Yeah. We'll get a lot done that day. And then Paula has a little update on the primary election that was just held.
I was just going to give a quick update. We had a successful primary, a good turnout. We had a 23% voter turnout, which compared to 2024, we were at 8.6%. So we had a great turnout, no major issues. Ann and Angie handled it very well. It was a very smooth election. No complaints as well. We transitioned absentee voting to Hennepin County in the state. As far as I know, 0 complaints on that. Everything went great. And we did have a good turnout for early voting. We had 254 voters come in. So it was a great election.
Okay. I know there was one question by one of the judges. Apparently, so I don't know if you got that. I know Ann got it.
Okay.
So I'll talk to her about it. It was just yeah. Okay. All right.
How's the water treatment plant coming?
I talked to him about that earlier today and asked if Aaron could come, and he's coming on the 21st, whatever the second meeting is.
So I reached out to him. I know he was on vacation last week, so he's digging out of emails, I'm sure. But I gave him the option of the 21st or the 5th to provide an update on that, among some other things,
Right.
water related. So,
Yeah,
but things are going pretty well. I mean, they're still just pouring walls and putting rebar in, and it's doesn't seem like it's changing significantly, but they are making progress. I think the clear well's all pretty much built out. Gary's shaking his head.
Not yet, no, they're.
Not completely,
They've
yeah.
been doing the basement section and finishing, they'll be starting off expanding on the clear well, so.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
it'd be good to have Aaron come and just give us an update on the progress. And then I also asked, give us a rundown in terms of cost, because I know we keep saying 28 million, but I want to know what that is.
Yep, I asked him that question
Okay.
today as well.
Okay.
I haven't heard back. I think he's, like I said, digging out of some emails, so.
And then are we going to be hearing about the, then the other thing is, if we can use the 1.2 million that we got from the feds for that other water line or water main.
Gary probably doesn't know about this yet,
No.
so, but I can give a little update. So we received $1.2 million from the federal government for its congressionally directed spending money. We applied for it, we received it, with me telling them that we needed at least $5 million for it to be worth putting it towards the water treatment plant, because there's some additional costs that are tag along with it. Talking with their representatives right now, we may be able to shift that money to a different project. We're figuring out what that process is and what the project can be, but it's got to be water related, so.
So
we
like
might.
painting the water tower?
I don't know. I mean, we're
That might be
gonna,
another one.
yeah, we're gonna look at, see what the options are. I don't know if it has to be, what it has to be related to, if it's new infrastructure or if it's maintenance, it could be something.
But if it's new infrastructure, that one
Yeah.
water line to relieve or to bring more pressure was an option, and that was like estimated 2 million. So if we could use the 1.2 towards that, that would be great. So staff is working on that, just wanted to make you aware.
Yeah, we're trying to, there are some additional things that we have to do as far as EPA review, cultural resource review. That's why it adds a lot more money to a larger project, to a smaller project, like a trunk main. It's a little different, smaller footprint. So, but there are additional costs. So, if, let's say, I think that project was 2.5 million. If it's now a federal project, it might move it up to 3 million. I don't know what that means.
Well,
So
we'll see.
it's unfortunate that that's the way that those things work
Yeah.
out, but yeah, we're working on that. So they have those 3 update items
Okay.
for the future agenda.
Okay. Anything else? So council reports?
You and I attended the Mound Fire Commission meeting. Jasper was there too on August 6th. You guys kind of
And
got a
we kind of
rundown
filled them in.
of that during the work session. Yeah. And then Peter and I have a personnel committee meeting tomorrow.
I'll just go back to the Gillespie Center. Brian, he's new, but the funds that the city contributed to the Gillespie Center went to programs. And the roof actually was covered by insurance, so they received.
Oh, great.
Covers all of it, including new downspouts. So that was a wonderful surprise.
Yeah.
We weren't positive that would happen. What else? I think, Brian's experience. He was humble, but he has tremendous amount of experience with grant writing and being successful getting grants. And that's what has been missing for 25 years at the Gillespie
Yeah,
Center.
yeah.
So I'm really thrilled about that.
Good. And he seemed very enthusiastic.
Yeah, and he really loves
Yeah,
seniors.
yeah. Good.
Which I am one. So, that's exciting change. The WCC, which is now West Tonka Connect, I'm still attending those meetings. I've yet to see how that's really going to promote this area, but they're working hard. They're trying
Okay,
to make a difference.
good. All right.
Should we update the name of it in the council report?
West
So now-
Tonka Connect. Connect West Tonka, sorry.
Right.
No longer West Tonka Community and Commerce.
Okay.
We're at in the council report, is it?
Under Claudia, the committee she's on?
No,
West
okay.
Tonka
I got you.
Committee.
Yep, recurring.
Okay, so I have a question of the council, and we bring us back to a work session or a regular meeting. Currently, we meet on Mondays, first and third Mondays. I'd like to see if there would be an appetite to move our meetings to Tuesdays. And that would be, because that might be a deal breaker for me. So I would like to move them to Tuesdays because it's just really, really hard to do Monday meetings.
Long meetings or long weekends and
Yeah.
vacations.
Yeah, and then.
Love Tuesdays.
And we would still have, if there's a Monday holiday, we would still do the Wednesday meetings regardless, so that wouldn't change. But it would also give everybody, otherwise I have to look at the packet over the weekend, and that's just not working for me. So this is somewhat self-serving, I admit, but we've made some accommodations for other council members, so I would really appreciate it if we could do this.
Tuesday would be better for me.
This would have been great to know, like,
We can
a
discuss
couple
it.
months ago, before I set my kids' fall and next year schedules.
Yeah, it's tough for me, at least until the end of September.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about next year.
For next year.
Sure.
Yeah,
Peter doesn't care.
yeah. If, again, we can put it on a work session for discussion, but I'd really like to ask the favor, so,
Tuesdays work for me.
okay. All right, so we'll put it on work session in September, and it probably wouldn't take effect until January, so, all right.
Hope
Well,
I'm
like, you
here.
can't because he won't be at them apparently on Tuesdays.
All right, all right. With that, then, we're going to close our
Can I
open.
just ask one question on that?
Sure.
How's that going to affect our attorneys? Because I know Sarah has other councils that are on Tuesdays.
And we'll
Yes.
find that out.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Figure it
I
out.
asked Allison already, and she can seem to make it work, but city attorney wise, we're gonna have to figure that out. I know Sarah goes to Lake Elmo on Tuesdays.
But if she loves us more,
Yeah.
she'll stay here.
We'll have to make her pick, I suppose, if we go that route.
Well, and also doing it remotely now, too. We have some other options, too.
Or we can ask Ron to come out of
Oh,
semi-retirement.
Ron, there you go. You know, Ron, we love you. So, anyhow. All right, so with that, we're going to close our open meeting. Can we adjourn the open meeting, Ron?
Ron, you're muted.
So I'm going to have to ask everybody to leave other than staff and council, of course. And then I think we keep it open and we go into closed session. And then after the closed session, we come back and just say what the closed session was about, and then we adjourn. So,
Madam Mayor, that's correct. You do not want to.
all right.
Close.
Hold on one second. Sorry, Ron.
Okay, but the closed session is to do a, hold on, annual review of our city administrator.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close out of this meeting. Paula will record it audio. We're required to do that. And then that'll be stored. And then sometimes the auditors will ask us for closed meeting audio recordings. So we'll do that. We won't come back on video to adjourn the meeting. We'll just do it here and it'll be reflected in the minutes.
Okay.
That works. And then as far as the summary goes of the review, Paula's got the example of what's been done in the past as, kind of a talking point. If we want to do something, that's what would be included in the next meeting's agenda on consent or business, or whatever's directed.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go into a closed session to discuss and review Jasper's annual performance review. All right. And
I need a motion.
do we have a motion to go into closed session?